Alrighty, welcome everybody on this lovely Saturday afternoon, November the 16th. It is currently 1:37 p.m. here at Amsterdam, and my name is Bart, and I'm your host for today's windy and cloudy and drizzly stream. Good to have you all aboard today. I have a little bit of a different setup, same stuff, but because it's so windy I didn't want to put my screen on top of my camera, which I usually do. So it's maybe a little bit fiddly and a little bit unusual for me to have my camera mounted to my tripod, but it will give a little bit of a smoother image. And there we go, first landing of the day. And let's see who we have in the chat already. I see we have Ronish in the chat, we have Dennis, Clementia, Misha is there as well, so welcome guys and gals. I'm just trying to fiddle around my stuff. Hey Jim. The winds are actually pretty decent today. I think it's 25 km/h winds. So not too shabby at all. Next arrival will be Air France with an E190 as Air France flight 1796 from Lyon. And on the parallel runway we will have China Airlines cargo flight 5685 from Mumbai on a 2-year-old 777 cargo. And welcome there, Corey. And the grey heron is not enjoying the weather either. But you know what they say? Well, no, it's what I say. Spray day is payday. When it's raining, when it's windy, it's always good to be out because it's always unique shots. Wow, reversing E190, that's cool. And next up for us, that China Dreamliner landed parallel, so I couldn't film that one, but next up for us is going to be KLM flight 760 from San Jose, Dreamliner -9. So you know what it is, time it is. It's dream time. Enjoy the magnificent KLM Dreamliner. I don't think I'm going to film anything today, just enjoying. With bird control there. And touchdown. Good to have you all aboard today. Like I said, I do have a little bit of a different, not a different setup, but usually I have my streaming device on top of my camera. But because it's windy today, I just wanted to see if it makes a difference in the shaking if I actually just put it on my tripod. But I'm so used to looking at my camera, and now I have to look down half of the time. It's so funny to actually see the difference. I have the feeling that I have my microphone mounted backwards, but I don't think that's the case. No, I think I'm good. So I did bring everything today. I brought my woolly, I brought my gloves, I brought my coffee, 3/4 full power bank, so I should be good for some hours. Boy just wrapped up his stream, and I think Joe is streaming as well. So it's a double coverage of the Polderbaan here today. But if you did decide to tune in today to my stream, thank you so much for tuning in, and glad to have you all aboard. Oh wow, I'm just looking at some colors because the colors are a little bit odd. Let me change the colors just a little bit so it looks a little bit natural. 5000 Kelvin should do it. Oh, and I already tried to clean my screen, so I'm sorry that I tapped on that comment. There we go. Ooh, the real little nugget. Just floating in. Dennis is asking if I do have some rain pants. No, I don't. Last year I actually had, or I bought myself a windproof, waterproof, like winter hiking pants. But after I think 3 or 4 washes, the water resistance was off, and now it just absorbs water. So yeah, I do have to invest in a proper outfit for rainy days, because even my winter jacket that I'm wearing right now is not waterproof anymore. So I am taking risks, but no reward without any risks. But like I said, thank you all for tuning in today. Glad to have you all aboard. And thank you for already hitting that thumbs up in the stream if you did that. Much appreciated. Next up we have Transavia flight 6730 from Seville, and an A320 Neo. And it's quote-unquote brand new, first flight March of this year. And behind that we have Air France flight 1740 from Paris CDG in yet another A318. And Jim, that was yesterday, if I remember correctly. If you mean the flight to, I think it was Houston, that actually came in, that what actually happened yesterday, if I'm correct. And if it happened again today, that's unfortunate, really. I am still not pleased with the colors. There we go. And I indeed saw it on stream yesterday. I was actually about to leave home to go stream when I saw it happen, so I actually followed it up quite a little bit, and I delayed my stream just a tad bit, just to follow it up on stream. But yeah, I'm curious to see what the day brings. Like I said, it's cloudy, it's rainy, it's windy, but I am all in for it. I actually walked down the bike path when the Atlas 748 landed, and then I think 30 seconds after that there was a Atlas Air 744 landing on the center runway. So pretty cool to see 2 runways, 2 747s, 2 different 747s, but both Atlas Air and both cargo. Pretty cool, if you ask me. Oh yeah, it would be so cool to have a retro livery on either one of those. I agree, Jim. So here's the baby bus Mleko. The tiny, cute A318. Let me zoom out so you guys can actually see how small it actually is. Look at this. Hey Matthijs. If Airbus ever built an SB version of something, it would have been this one, really. And it just keeps on drizzling. Wow. I have to clean the camera screen. But yeah, welcome everybody at runway 18 right today, Polderbaan, just like yesterday. And Jim, yes they do, apart from some VIP configured ones, it is only Air France and Tarom only has one, which I learned yesterday. So pretty interesting to see that they only have one, and it does fly to Amsterdam. So let me peek over at Flight Radar and see what we have coming our way. Absolutely nothing. Interesting. And with nothing I mean the first one is due to arrive in 10 minutes. It's either going to be the SAS CityJet CRJ 900 as SK547 coming from Copenhagen, or the KLM 777-300, just like yesterday, KL Flight 744 coming in from Lima. And the reason I actually decided to start my stream a little bit later today is the fact that yesterday this dip in time, no, I have to say it correctly. Yesterday there was a little bit of a dip in time between the landings on stream, so I decided to just start it a little bit later today so I could actually catch all of those. So we do have a little bit of time on hand. So might as well. Well, I am putting my camera straight into the direction of the rain now. So yeah, day 3 of streaming back to back. It's been a while since I've done that, but like I said earlier yesterday and 2 days ago, I do finally have my Sony back, and with the other Sony I borrowed from the camera store, I just could not manage to do what I wanted to do, like quality wise and for streaming. And now that I have the small Sony back, it's just, I have my little pocket rocket back, as I call it, because it's a relatively small camera, and it's very capable for just everyday use at the airport. It does struggle a little bit in the nighttime, but other than that, it's my go-to camera. I do use my Nikon for like the really compilated, compilated videos. So all the clips that I usually shoot are shot with the Nikon, because I do tend to like the quality a little bit more, but that's just mainly when I go out to the airport just for video and not for streaming. If I do streaming, I only use my Sony camera. So yeah, really happy to have this one back, and also really happy to be back streaming actually. To give you guys an idea of how drizzly and cloudy it is today, if the weather does improve, I will try, my god, the colors are way off. I will try and see if I can actually, if the weather clears, I'll try and see how much more clear the tower at Amsterdam Center is. It's barely visible at the moment. And afternoon there, Mark, all the way from either Newcastle or from Edinburgh. Good to see you, mate. And yeah, the weather is tricky out here. I am currently swiping away on the YOLO box because there's actually no cage to put it in. Well, there's a cage, but no protective cage like for the elements. But yeah, it is quite tricky weather today. And the funny thing is, drizzle doesn't show up on the rain radar, because probably in the UK it's the same, but we actually have some pretty detailed rain radars which show the intensity of the rain and the time, and it's looking completely clear, and yet it is drizzly. But yeah, like I said, it's a little bit of a quote-unquote quiet moment, just waiting it out for the 777 from Lima and the CRJ 900 from Copenhagen, and then it slowly starts to drip in. How do you say it? They slowly start to glide in. So I'd rather have this in the beginning of the stream than in the midst of the stream. But yeah, like I said, happy to be out here again. Trying something different with putting the YOLO box on the tripod. Maybe after today's stream I'll do a live stream on the phone to show the members the behind the scenes of how my setup looks. Although it will not be the longest of streams, because my setup is relatively simple. It's my streaming device, my camera, and I have a pouch, they call it an EDC, everyday carry, which hangs on my tripod with a power bank in it and the cables attached to it. But the funny thing is, even though it's a weekend, it's weekend, and even though it's raining, there's still, I think, 25 people scattered around the bike path. It's so funny at Amsterdam. It's only in like the really early mornings or middays or midweek days. It's more quiet, but even when it's raining or stormy, there's always people here in the weekends. Always. It's just like Germany. For those who've been to Frankfurt, you know that it doesn't matter what day or what time you're at the airport, there's always people just hanging around and looking at the planes and stuff like that. Oh yeah, unreliable forecast. Well, we do have an app, a Dutch app. I don't know if you can actually download that one, but it's bloody reliable. If it shows that it's gonna rain for 10 minutes in like half an hour, it is going to rain for 10 minutes in half an hour. I rely so much on that app, and it doesn't matter for what city, because for example Nate is from Warsaw, and I can actually see, sometimes I even get notifications like, okay, it's going to snow or it's going to rain for 35 minutes and then it's going to be dry for an hour. That scooter is loud. Scooter, sorry, in Dutch we call it a scooter, but I think scooter in English is like that, we call it a step, like a kick scooter. Oh, and I see our first arrival. Let's see. I haven't checked if it's going to be the SAS or the KLM. I think it's going to be the SAS. Oh, yep. So it's going to be the SAS flight 547 from Copenhagen. Behind that we have KLM flight 1630 from Venice with a 7.3, and behind that we have KLM flight 744 with a 777-300s. And then it's slowly getting more busy. There's quite a few heavies coming this way as well. There's a Air China cargo in just shy of an hour. There's Silkway West in 40 minutes with a 777. So I really hope we're going to get that one on this runway. But only one way to find out, and that's to wait. Oh, let me dry my lens real quick. And tell me why the microphone has issues, Dennis. I'm curious why. Is there like a static noise or something? There we go. So it's pencil time, as Nate would call it.
See, it's gonna touch down the white. Yeah, oh, it has to be on the mark.
And touchdown. I love the concept of the CRJs with that T-tail and the engines mounted on the fuselage. Really cool sight. Is anybody else experiencing some microphone issues on your end? Because I'm actually using my headphones and I don't really hear anything. Maybe the sound is like a little bit all over the place, but that's because I'm using one single microphone. Alright, next up is that Venice flight, and behind that we will have KLM flight 744, the 777, 300 ER. Oh yeah, and then that's my bad. The best would be to have two wireless microphones that I can clip onto my my cap or my jacket or something to have like steady sounds. But those wireless microphones are, I think, $250 if you want to have decent ones that don't give you issues. And $250 is quite a bit. So maybe next month or after December, I'll invest in something like that, because I can imagine that this really sounds annoying. Alright, 7-3. And touchdown. And Babe coming in with a beautiful, beautiful sticker. They're saying mood with double smiley and sunshine. Thank you so much for that one, sweetie. Indeed, giving a little bit of smiley sunshine to give a good mood. And it for sure does give me a big smile on my face, babe. Thank you so much for this one, sweetie. Kokansje bardzo, kochanie. Always, always being so helpful for the channel and coming in with chats like this, stickers, always so thoughtful. Thank you so much for that one, sweetie. And yeah, the zoom sound indeed is quite loud. I wish I could do something about that. I could use a fixed zoom, so I could set it to this. My bad, to this. I will be able to film everything with this focal length, because 300mm is basically enough to film everything here at Amsterdam. So now I know that this is not the best for y'all. I just tried to do it this way because the winds usually really rock the camera when the streaming device is on top of that. Alright, enjoy the 777. And Dennis is saying, well, the first donation for your new microphone is in there. Thank you, girl, for that one. Oh, I know, mate. And she came in with a beautiful, beautiful one yesterday as well. So, like I always say, everything that I get from the channel gets back into the channel. So now I do have a little bit more time on hand to stream. So with the views, I'm really an open book in that. With the views, of course, that generates a little bit of revenue. And that actually allows me to, for example, invest in some microphones, because I do know that this small microphone is not the best for streaming, because when I walk around like this, it's really annoying for you guys, because I can actually hear the feedback in my headphones as well. And afternoon there, Yorkshire Biker, good to see you, mate. Let me swipe the screen again. It is drizzly. But I'll try and keep the camera on roughly this zoom. This is actually the zoom that I always use when I make videos as well. It's 300mm, like I said, which is more than enough to actually punch in a little bit when they're on approach, to have a little bit of a close-up, but still wide enough when they roll by. So if you do watch my compilation videos, this is actually the zoom amount that I use. And glad you tuned in there, Yorkshire Biker. And touchdown. Alrighty, let's get back. After the next landing I'll clean the camera lens. And welcome aboard Austrian Wolf, good to see you mate. Welcome to the extended version of Polderbahn spotting, from boy to me. And it is for sure windy out here today. Oh, and there goes my phone. Excuse me for a second. This smart man just dropped his phone in the dirt, so I had to clean it a little bit because I do have my phone on hand to double check the chat and to actually look at flight radar and stuff like that. Look at them, the cloud base is actually getting lower and lower today. En morgen mandos. And to give you guys an idea how I know that the lens is dirty, if you look at the lights of the plane, soon you will see a couple of lines in it, and that's just a reflection of the lights bouncing off in the water on the lens. It's technical, goofy, technical stuff, but straight up to the next one. Let me grab my phone and not drop it. So, next plane to arrive is going to be flight radar is glitching out. KLM 1678 from Naples on an E2. And there's also a KLM, another E2 coming in, the 1700 EasyJet sticker, KLM 1466 from Marseille. And then we have a couple minutes of nothing, and then it will be the Star Alliance plane from Swiss. And this is not an E2. Interesting. I think my flight radar is a little bit glitched out. And the winds are picking up. We have Vueling. Now it should be time for the E2. Let me quickly clean the lens. There we go. It is surviving out here today. I love spotting like this. It just gives a certain mood. There are the lights of the E2. Some crows. And yet again, not the E2. I do think my flight radar is glitched out on a way you can't imagine. It looks to be Transavia. Yes, it is. I have to reset my flight radar for this one. And I see you guys are enjoying the polderbaan. For me as a spotter, the polderbaan is a really, how do you say it, really easygoing place. Because you can just park your car, you can walk up to the bike path, not worry about being parked in a location that they don't really like. Open views, and usually the polderbaan is one of the most reused runways. I do like to stream on other locations as well, but they're actually taking away a couple of options, or they have actually taken away a couple of options in the last year or so. There we go. And welcome there, Daniel. Good to see you, mate. Look at those windscreen wipers. And Daniel saying the weather is not what you're wishing for as a plane spotter. Well, it depends on the type of plane spotter that you are. Most of the plane spotters who take photos want to have blue skies with a nice bit of light on the planes, so they can make some nice clean photos of the livery and the registration. But for me, the more, I'm just gonna say it, the more shitty the weather, the more I am enjoying, because I do really enjoy some rain, some spray. It can't get crazy enough for me. Dzień dobry, Roman. Also from Warsaw. And Daniel, I'm doing really good, mate. I hope you're doing fine as well. There we go. And Austrian Wolf, what kind of problem with permission are you talking about? Because there's actually, we have parking P3, and I know that Boy has been sent away from there. But usually when I go to P3, I park my car up there, so technically I'm just paying to be there. So I can imagine that they don't want people who didn't pay there, but it's still strange because it literally says that it's a panoramic viewing place. So they actually if you may believe the signs, they actually invite you up there to the 5th floor to enjoy the view. And considering threshold 18 left, that's actually a spot that we were used to be allowed to stay at, but at the moment they just send us all away. So when I got sent away, I think 3 weeks ago, I actually asked them, or they said that I had to leave, and I said, do I have to leave, or do you want me to leave? And they said, no, you have to leave. So I don't want to say that I had a discussion, but I just had a healthy, a healthy discussion, telling them that there's no, how do you say it, parking verbod? Oh, I don't know the English word. That there's no signs that say that it's not allowed to park there on the road. And they said, no, that's true, we just want you to leave. Ah, okay. That makes a big difference. But they just don't want too many people around the airport because they have to patrol the perimeter. But it's always like, there's a couple of die-hard spotters that are always up and around the airport. We know the police, we know them by name, but they can't make exceptions for people like us, which I understand. If you stream commercially without a permission, I see. Now that's something. Well, I'm technically, it depends. Oh, this is, by the way, the Swiss Star Alliance. I'm just streaming for fun, and I don't know if that's commercially or not. And Daniel saying you're doing fine now, but you had a heart attack 3 weeks ago. That's really a pity to hear, mate. But I'm happy to read that you're doing fine now. Heart attacks are no joke. So I'm happy to see that you're doing fine now after that one. But like I say, that is no joke. And Mandus is saying a couple of kids are actually ruining it at parking P3. It's always a couple of people that ruin it for the rest of us. Oh my god, it's actually starting to rain now. And it looks like, talking about the devil, that the police is actually on their way now, patrolling the Polderbaan. And afternoon there, Douwe. Welcome, mate. And Dennis, indeed, I'm on public space, but it's always words against words. I'm at public space, but I'm filming something. I don't understand the rules for journalism and stuff like that, but they are trying their best to shoo everything and everyone away. We're actually here making free promotion for the airlines and the airport, but hey. And that was the police shooing by. I'm actually surprised, they were driving pretty fast on the bike path here. So let me check flight radar. And Jim, let's not speculate. Alright, next up, Flying Piggy. Flight PGS coming in from Istanbul 3 hours ago with an A320 Neo. It's a brand new plane from February this year, and behind that we have KLM flight 1200 from Oslo on the 737-8. We have Fly One coming in as well. Oh, actually in the Fly One livery, operated by Fly One Romania from Chisinau. KLM flight 1442 from Bordeaux is coming in as well as, and flight KL 1654 from Florence on the E190 standard is coming in too. Hey there, DW. It's indeed, it's been a while, mate. Doing pretty good. Well, the weather is it's Dutch, but I'm doing pretty good, and it's all going pretty well here. Autumn really is setting in. Yesterday the weather on stream was amazing. Oh, look at that, vortices. Some really nice contrast in a couple of landings. Some really nice heavies as well. Starting the stream off yesterday with the A380 landing and reversing with spray. And today, well, today is today. Alright, Austrian Wolf, thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck on work today. Like I said, thank you so much for tuning in and chatting along, and good luck on work today. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you do have a free day today, tomorrow, enjoy your weekend. Yeah, so the discussion about spots is endless. It's an endless discussion because Amsterdam airport maybe doesn't want us to be there, or airport security. The police don't matter. The Dutch military police is a hit or miss. Sometimes they allow, sometimes they don't. Oh, look at this, 2 different color lights on the 7.3.
Hallo, Joe Adam?
No,
Oh,
Joe is Joe staat verderop.
oh, volop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember DW that you were actually moving out to Norway. Now I remember indeed. Pretty cool. I hope you're having a good time there, mate. I know it's not easy, but yeah, Daniel, I can give you a call later on. Funny, those people actually asked if I was Joe. Well, no, I'm not. Joe is standing somewhere in the back there. It's not these two people, but he's somewhere over there streaming as well. And by the looks of it, they brought him something nice, something warm maybe. So really nice. It is moody weather today for sure. So next one is that Chisinau flight from Fly One as flight, I'm just gonna say it, via 737, and it's flight 5F737. And like I said, behind that we have KLM coming in from Bordeaux with an E2. And the next heavy should be the Silkway 777 coming in from Baku. And I really hope that it's gonna come this way. Oh, awesome, DW, that would be cool. Oh wow, do you guys remember in the beginning of the stream that I said that the Amsterdam Tower is barely visible? It's even less visible right now. I don't even think the camera can pick it up. Funny thing, I can finally make a joke. So for those who don't know, you have a flock of birds and a murder of crows. And a murder of crows is 3 crows in a row. So if you have 2 crows next to each other, you have, I know it's a silly joke, an attempt at murder. It's dark, but so is the color of the crows, so I can say it. And sorry for the loud zooming noises. And there we have our next arrival coming through the low cloud base. That's going to be the Fly One coming in from Chisinau, flight FIA 737 with an A321. That was a rough one. Yeah, the 777 is really a lot of airlines are actually replacing the 74s with the triples. Alrighty. A little bit of Qatar. And no, not the airline, but Qatar in Polish means a running nose. And it doesn't really matter if it's either the 7.3 or the A321. I can imagine the Boeings are a little bit more demanding to fly, I think. So I'm just setting up the replay settings, because yesterday's stream, on yesterday's stream, everybody was actually enjoying the replays. Oh, there we go. And Joe is standing at the touchdown point. Got it, Matthijs. So he is indeed standing roughly where I expected. And there's our next arrival, if the camera wants to focus. There we go. Oh yeah, indeed, a parliament of crows is also possible. That's true, yeah. And indeed, Clementia, but you know, in the end, I don't really like to have like discussions when people ask me to leave. Usually, when I know that I'm in my right, I'm not going to do anything about it. But like I say, I'm almost always in P3 with my car, so basically I just have the power to say that I'm actually paying their salary by parking up there, so I have all the rights to be there. But I never like to go in for discussions. Alright, let's see how this touchdown is going to be. It's going to be a bouncy one or not. I have to say the crosswinds are pretty mild, which is good for the people flying. Aloha there, Kalani. Welcome all the way from Hawaii. Wow. Saying, 1 second, let me rotate the camera away. Saying, I've seen many AV geeks streaming at that location at Amsterdam airport for a long time. Continue doing what you do. I love it. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, the Polderbaan is for sure a popular place for streamers. Because it's always really accessible. I have to say I do prefer the Polderbaan in takeoff because the sounds are just so amazing. And when the Polderbaan is open for landings, it's runway 24 or 18 left for takeoffs, and those are some pretty uninteresting places to stream from when they're in their takeoff configuration. So that's why a lot of people actually come to the Polderbaan quite often, because it's always good. And Sal coming in from Accra, Ghana. Welcome, mate. I think I can say it bonjour, because if I remember good, Ghana actually speaks French as well. And welcome, Anders. Exactly, Dennis. You never win from the caps. And like I say, I'm here to I am doing everything I shouldn't. I'm trying to clean my my screens and I'm just touching everything. No, but I'm just here for a good time, and I don't want to have like a good time streaming and then go into a discussion and have my mood ruined. So when they ask me to leave, I'll leave. It's like I said, I'm doing this for fun. I'm not doing this to make a statement. Wow, it is rainy. Well, it's funny because it's actually drizzly, but those small drops actually make everything really wet. It's so funny because when you're like in dedicated rain, you know that you're getting wet, but when it's drizzling, you think, ah, it's all good. And then you look at your screen and at your camera, it's like, oh wow, it's actually wet. But like I said earlier on the stream, I really enjoy like a little bit of spray time and stuff like that. It just makes, I love the atmosphere of the weather, or the elements of the weather, like combined with aviation. In the summertime it's really nice because you can be in shorts, etc. You can just relax and have a good time. but all the shots are the same. And when it's raining, it's like really challenging to get like a good shot, and it takes a little bit of knowing your camera to actually get the shot that you want to get. Ah, the national language is English. Interesting. And Daniel, I do have an umbrella, but when you're streaming, you and especially now, usually it's a combination of a wind and rain, and it's a little inconvenient to have an umbrella. But I'm just wiping down the camera screen every now and then, so I'm all good. I can do it like Thomas Job is doing, of course, having the umbrella like clipped on his on his high vis vest. He's such an intuitive guy. Looks to be clearing up just a little bit in the background there. I know that I don't want to zoom too much because the sound of the zoom is a little loud, but look, it's breaking open just a little bit. There we go. So now that we don't have anything on approach, visibly on approach, let me have a glimpse. Silkway is actually going to be number 2. The first one is going to be Transavia flight 6868 from Athens, and behind that we're going to get the Silkway 777 cargo coming in from Baku, and there's a Air China cargo. Yeah, Air China cargo coming in from Beijing, and it's roughly 25 minutes out, so it's going to be good fun. The weather is almost the same as in Düsseldorf. I can imagine it's usually like European weather altogether, right? I mean, there's not really that big of a difference, especially in this time of year when everything is getting colder. The weather in Europe is basically the same. So we just have to wait it out a little bit for the first one to actually pop up through the clouds. So, like I said, the Amsterdam Tower is, you wouldn't believe it, but it's actually there. The camera can't even focus. So, very, very, very faintly visible. I don't even know if you guys can see it. Probably you can see just a little bit of the silhouette. So that means that if the drizzle keeps going on like it is right now, we might actually get a proper bit of spray when planes actually use their reversers. Silkway and especially the Air China 747 as an example. Hey Liewe, goedemiddag. So yeah, it's so funny to see. It's like really, it's a small world when it's cloudy. Usually on a sunny day or a clear day, you can see like 4 or 5 planes on approach, and now it's just waiting for that one to poof come through the clouds. And Daniel's saying, what about the girlfriend? Is she fine? Well, you could ask her. She's in the chat. Oh, I see some very faint lights in the background. Oh, it's all, and they're already gone. Let me see if I can manual focus, and it should be somewhere around there. It's actually behind the clouds at the moment, but it should pop up. There we go. So there's the Transavia. But to all of you who tuned in today, thank you so much for tuning in on this moody Saturday afternoon here at Amsterdam Airport. I'm glad you found some time to hop on in the chat and just leave a comment to say hello. Always nice to see people tuning in, especially from all over the world. I said it on yesterday's stream as well. So many people from all over the world tuning in. For that matter, I really love how far technology has come. And yeah, the future of Warsaw Airport is actually laughing, or it's a joke. It's Nate and me had a chat about the airport. It's so funny. They actually have Modlin, which is an airport northwest of Warsaw, where they want Ryanair, Wizz Air, etc. But they just don't want to go there because it's too far away from the city. There's no direct train or something. And Poland actually had the idea to build a huge airport. I think, what was it, babe? 100 or 150 kilometers away from Warsaw? I don't even know if they're gonna be able to pull that one off. Really funny. Alright, and there comes Silkway, absolutely hammering through the clouds. Manual focus, I'm going to let you guys enjoy this one. Alright, Silkway 777 from Baku. Am I going to film this one? Yes, I'm going to try it. It will be strange because I have to look at my screen, which is a fixed point, and I have to move the camera, so it's a little counterintuitive. But let's hope for some spray. Alright, enjoy this one, everybody. I think it's going to be a loud one. Wow, let's rewatch that one. That was a really smooth landing. I expected much more from that, but it was actually really relaxed. And I'm sorry if my panning was a bit sloppy, but it's really smooth sailing there. You could almost say it was silky smooth. See what I did there? And that's that.
Ja, maar is er anders maken? Ja, oh zo. Ja, maar dan moet je accepteren dat het eerst en dat het een beetje koud is.
Let me quickly take a sip of coffee. Ah, it's just 60 kilometers. My bad, babe. And indeed, it was no Ryanair pilot. So Mark, I know that you're actually using the YOLO box as well, the replay function on that one, and Like I said, I have to really give credits to Casey Rally in Planes for that one. I know you you watched it back yesterday, Casey, and I know you commented, but sorry that I didn't reply back yet. But the replay function on the YOLO box is so cool. And Dennis, actually they started it out, I think, in the beginning of this year. Oh. Wheelie time. So let me see where that 7.4 is. It should be relatively close by now. Oh yep, it is. It's flying over Lelystad, which is roughly 10 minutes out. But first up we have a 737-700 coming in from Porto with KLM flight 1572. Behind that we have KLM 1984 from Belgrade. And then BA flight 438 from Heathrow with an A320. Then we have KLM flight 1364 from Budapest. And then we're gonna see the China Cargo Queen, and that's gonna be a loud one for sure. Yes, same for me, Mark. I did not know about the replay button as well. Like I said, it's always on my screen because it's just it's just like a physical touch button on the screen. And like I said yesterday, it's like white noise. It's always been there, and that's why I didn't really notice it. But it's so good fun to just watch like a nice landing back or a sketchy one, or just replay a highlight. And Andres saying, does Ryanair really deserve the bad reputation? Absolutely not. I have to say, I flew Ryanair. I've seen quite a few landings of them. I've been to Dublin, which is the home base, and I have to say, they do have some really buttery landings. Yes, they do have sketchy ones as well, but it's actually, they don't deserve the bad credit that they have. But it's the same with Pegasus. Pegasus also has some really hard landings. Yeah, I agree, Kalani. It's especially the 777s and especially the 747s, when they open up that whole candy store of flaps and slats and reversers and whatnot. It's just such a cool view. Oh. So this is, I think, the Belgrade flight. And if you haven't done it already, consider giving the stream a thumbs up. We much appreciate it, and it helps me out a ton. Alright, and bird control, making good use of the off-road capabilities of the Touareg.
Eentje die gewoon weet dat die prikkers, voor ze gewoon prikt in de grond, dan staan ze gewoon vast.
Yeah, exactly, Mark. It's slap bang in the next record button. It's so funny. Like I say, it's only after I saw Casey doing it, and I knew that he has a YOLO box. I was like, wait, how does he do that? And then he told me, well, it's just a replay button on your screen. Oh gosh, really? But you do have to manually set the settings every time you go live. You can't do it pre-live stream. So when you start your live stream, you have to actually set how long you want the replay to be back. If you want it full speed, half speed, with sound, without sound. But it's such a nice little touch to the stream. There we go. Yeah, it's funny to see how some airlines really have like almost like protocol on how they land. It's funny because Delta always reverses here at Amsterdam. Absolutely unnecessary, but they always reverse. KLM almost never reverses, which is also like company policy. The Chinese airlines, I've almost never seen a Chinese airline not absolutely obliterate the thrust reverse. I hope I didn't jinx it for the 747 that's gonna land up here. But it is for sure good fun, and every airline has like I say, different ways, and especially when it's like really when it's absolutely wet conditions, the planes have to touch down hard because they have to break the layer of water, because if they come in so fast, it's actually making them aquaplane. Pun intended, yes. But they actually have to touch down hard to get through that layer of water to actually have grip on the runway and not aquaplane. And welcome, if I remember good, it's Zhang from Taiwan. Welcome, mate. Good to see you. And exactly, Zhang from Taiwan. Alrighty, we have our next approach, or next arrival, I have to say. And I think behind this one is the China Cargo 74. I really want to film it, but at the same time I don't want to do it because I want to give you guys the full experience. You know what, I'm just going to give you guys the full experience. I've filmed so many Queens lately. I'm going to give you guys the full experience and a playback. Alright Daniel, take care mate, and so good to hear that after the heart attack you're feeling good again. Take care, take your time, and I'll catch you on the next one, mate. Hey Danny, afternoon mate. And yet again the colors are all over the place. I cannot seem to get the colors good in this weather. From what I've understood is that there's actually speed limits even for those guys. So I think he was coming by with well over 100 kilometers an hour, which is absolutely crazy. And Colin, welcome from Scotland, near Edinburgh. Good to see you, mate. I've actually been to Edinburgh, I think it was 2 weeks ago, for the relaunch, I have to say, of Emirates. Was very fortunate and very blessed to be able to be the one filming the landing on airside. Was absolutely an amazing experience, and I have to say Edinburgh is a really nice airport, and from what I've heard is that the city is beautiful as well. Alright, let me quickly check flight radar and see if the next one is actually the 747. My god, my hands are cold. Let me see, because I still don't see any lights, and it should be the Queen up next, but flight radar is a little sticky. So yeah, like I said, the next one should be the 74. So I can say it formally, officially, and for those who don't know, after this one you know, I have a saying when there's a 747 coming. I'm gonna say it, guys. You know what time it is? Let me know in the chat. Qualifying lap, yeah, Polderban Grand Prix. Yorkshire biker got it there. It's Queen time.
Specifiek voor deze baan.
There we go.
Ja, ze kunnen akkoord.
And indeed, then it's 30 kilometers an hour. Maybe when there's like a call that they have to be somewhere quick, they can actually drive quick. I don't know, but. And Jim, Danny, DW, everybody's indeed Queen time. And I really want to go to Edinburgh with Natey. Just travel, go to cities. So babe, we have to find a good moment to go to Edinburgh, because now we see in the chat that it's actually a beautiful city. And indeed, Mike Romeo, afternoon mate, just in time to catch the Queen. I'm just patiently waiting for the lights to show up there in the clouds in the background. And like I say, the colors are honestly all over the place. And a little more purplish, purple, orange. There we go. It's really hard to have. I already have like trouble with color accuracy. So let's put it like this: if I see that the colors on the screen are not the best, they are way off reality. I am honestly really patiently waiting now. It should show itself within the next 20 seconds. It is already crossed. It already crossed the water, so it should show up. By the way, EasyJet Air is on its way as well with the A321 Neo, and there's a KLM Dreamliner from Mexico City on its way as well. So, well balanced stream today, some heavies, some narrows. Oh, and there it is. There's the Queen. So I'm again going to say it. You know what time it is? It's Queen time. And yeah, I do have a lot of footage from Edinburgh, but I can't wait to actually publish it. I'm still not able to publish it, but once I can, I will, and I can't wait to show you guys Edinburgh and Glasgow. There we go. Show some love and appreciation in the chat for the Queen. Let's give her a warm welcome, and I hope she's going to give us some very loud thrust reverse. I think it might actually be a little bit too loud, but Queen time is Queen time. Yeah, DW, A9 is a busy highway for sure. Alrighty, there we go. Queen time. I'm going to be silent. I'm going to film it as best as I can. I'm going to replay it. Oh, headphone users, be aware, it might be a very loud one. There we go. Enjoy this Queen time. It is way late. All right, open them up. Do it. That was loud. Oh wow. There we go. Let's rewatch that. That was proper loud. Just look at those beautiful engines. I don't know if you guys can actually hear the sound of the replay, but just look at those massive engines. Actually, it was a relatively late touchdown and a really early exit, so I'm pleasantly surprised about that. And there we go, back live again. Indeed, that did not disappoint at all. Oh my. And I see we have 100 lovely people in the chat. Welcome everybody. If you're new here, my name is Bart. I'm the host of this channel, and you're watching me streaming live here at Amsterdam Airport's runway 18 right after a very, very loud and impressive Chinese 747 cargo landing. And almost, my bad. You'd think I would not be missing out on something, but I almost missed out on you too. Smooth operator indeed. And afternoon there, Rasif. Welcome. Look at this double shot. Boom. And the drizzle is still drizzling. So, did you guys actually hear the sound on the replay or not? Because I don't know if it actually plays the sound back or if you just hear me whine over it. But this was proper fun. Let me actually put my gloves on for a second because it's getting a little chilly. So, like I said, Egypt Air is on its way as well, should be landing in a couple minutes, and we have a KLM Dreamliner coming in from Mexico City as well. Alright, no sound on the replay. So, do you guys want me to add sound to the replay? I agree, Kalani, it's something else, isn't it? Embraer, they're for sure rare at the moment. And I see some bright white lights, and that should be the Egypt Air A321 Neo coming in from Cairo. So the rest of the week is actually supposed to be quite rainy. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to keep the streaming equipment dry, because I actually do want to stream in the rain for you guys. It is such an surreal experience. Look at you can even see in the lights, the gloomy lights gives it away that it's a little bit drizzly. There we go. Oh, my bad. Snow in 2 days. Well, that's Norway for you, DW. Yeah, the vortices really look nice. I'm actually surprised that the A321 Neos have them so strong or so noticeable. Alright, like I said, I am way off with the colors. They should do. Yeah, I think the winds are getting really strong up here, aren't they, Mike? Alright, next up, Dreamtime from Mexico City, 787-9. Let's see if it's gonna do a wheelie Probably no thrust reverse, just auto land. And that should be it. That was a beautiful landing there. Let's rewatch that landing. It felt like it was a little late on touchdown, but just look at the windscreen wipers working their way up there. Sweet. It is getting more and more rainy actually, funnily enough. Oh, and even the camera doesn't want to focus. And welcome there, Maurice. Good to see you, mate. I'm doing pretty well. How are you? Let's see, flight radar is updating. Next, oh no. Next up is KLM flight 1296 from Billund, an E175. Then we're gonna get yet another Air France A380, AF 1650 from CDG, and then it will be another E175 coming in from Frankfurt. Good fun. Good to know that it could get quite windy. Ooh, that was an absolute buttery landing. Did you guys see that? The engines opened up and they closed again, and that was that. Look at this. Have a look at the thrust reverses. They just open up and then 2 or 3 seconds later they close. And the landing was so buttery. Look at the engines. Open, close. Absolutely no function at all. I love it. Yeah, the weather surely digressed in contrast to this morning. That's for sure. It is even getting more and more windy as well. So Aeromexico is 30 minutes out, and I think that's going to be the last one for the stream. It's just too gloomy, and everything is getting wet, so I have to figure out a way to keep everything dry. And it starts to rain again. It's really getting worse every minute. And it's exactly what it says, Jim, and exactly how you describe it. There's, I think there's not a single piece of input. Autoland is just the plane flares out, all based on, I think, on ILS and stuff like that, and on radar systems, and it just automatically lands. I don't know if auto land also works in this kind of conditions, because I think this is category 1 or category 2 landing. I think category 1. So I don't know if auto land works in cat 1, but maybe there's some more knowledgeable people in the chat that know it. Awesome, good to hear, Maurice. Boom. Wow. What? The weather is just, like I say, when it's proper raining, I love it, because it just gives such an awesome vibe, and the members in the chat the members of the channel actually have early access to the Queen video. And for those who have watched it, that first clip of the Polar 747-8 landing in extreme rain, that's what I love. I know that I'll be drenched, and I know that it will be very tricky to keep the camera stuff dry, but it's stuff like that is what really hypes me up at the airport. No problem, Jim. And Anders saying thumbs up, guys. Well, if you do indeed enjoy what you're seeing, consider leaving the stream a like. Will be much appreciated, and that kind of help goes a long way. Commenting in the chat or chatting along with others, leaving a like on the stream, it all helps me out a bunch. And thanks for that clarification there, Yorkshire Biker, saying I think it needs to be a Cat 3 ILS runway, but yes, completely automatic for use with a very limited visibility. And if I'm correct, the Polderbaan does have Cat 3 ILS landing. I think we have quite a few runways. I don't know if all runways have Cat 3 ILS. I don't think runway 27 has that. I don't think runway 22 or 04 has that. But the Polderbaan I am sure, and I think the center runway as well. And there's the baby bus coming in from CDG, and if I remember correctly, it is flight 1650. Oh. And indeed, exactly like that, Kalani. Usually KLM opens the reverses up, uses them with, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10% thrust, and then close them again. It's just to slow the plane down. That's it, basically. Look at that, even the tower is getting absorbed by low visibility. And the rain is actually intensifying. I'm already thinking what I can, I don't know, jerry-rig together to keep everything dry. I do have a camera, I do have like a protection for my camera, but not for the streaming box. I can actually show you guys that one. So this is actually the device I use to keep my camera dry. Oh, you can actually see the raindrops on the camera now. It's really getting out there. But that's only for the camera when I'm not streaming, because I have 4 cables into my camera. Sorry for the loud zoom noises there. And I've noticed that the E175s usually have very smooth landings. Look at that. It's crazy how buttery smooth they can touch those down. Hey Erwin, middag. And I see in Rotterdam it's cloudy and rainy as well. It's funny because everybody's leaving. There were actually a couple of people with camera behind me. They're leaving now. As you can see, like I said, the rain is actually intensifying. Everybody is leaving at the moment. Oh, and something quite funny. You guys know my name. You know that my name is Bart, and it's so funny that one of the most comfortable gloves I have ever had and no, I didn't make those myself. This is actually a brand of gloves or winter clothing. And DW is saying there's a warm front coming, and that's exactly, it's pushing out the cold air. It's pushing out, as they say it, I think a depression. And that depression indeed makes up for some rain. Oh wow, my streaming box is tripping because of the rain. Oh yeah, you actually got the Ultra, didn't you, Erwin? Like I said, let me know how it's working, because the Ultra is actually a really nice one. It also does ISO recording, as it's called. I think it's in stream, or no, just isolated recording. So when you record, for example, when I want to record something on my streaming box, it also records the layout. But ISO recording means that you can record your screen without the layout on top of it. So, and the 4K streaming is just something else. Something I really want to try out as well, but the Ultra is just way out of my league at the moment. And indeed, it's not easy to butter a landing. Funny thing, this German Airways plane, I don't know if it's actually on the front of the plane, is Binter Airways, and Binter is the local airline of the Canary Islands. It's funny because it's fully in German Airways with a German registration, but if I remember correctly, it is maybe it's a wet lease from Binter. And hey there, Peter. It's been a while, mate. Good to see you. Oh wow, that's some short separation there. And afternoon all the way from Bolsward there, Alex. Welcome to rainy Amsterdam. Oh, small correction there. Wing fluff, vortices. I think do you guys remember what I explained yesterday about temperature and dew point? My guess is that the temperature and dew point are almost the same, and that the humidity is plus or more than 90%. Oh wow, that's actually really lucky, Erwin, because I think now on sale they go for 13 or 1400 euros, if not more. So it's a hefty price tag for a machine like that, but and DW is saying you're right. It's funny because, like I say, I've been spotting for let me think. I started in November 2011, so I'm exactly 13 years into plane spotting with a break. But I remember I was always I started out with like normal photos, like side-on photos and simple spotting, but I really quickly realized that I didn't like that style, so I tried to be a little bit creative, which was not easy with the cameras back in the days, because it was I think the first or second generation of digital cameras, but I always chased, we called it rainbow condensation, so the wing fluff on the wings, and then when the planes take off with between you and the sun, so that you're looking into the sun, so they call it backlit, and the planes actually had wing condensation on the wings, or wing fluff, it would show rainbow colors. And I always knew that when the dew point and the outside temperature were within 1 degree of each other, there was a really big chance of having rainbow fluff on the wings. And good morning to you, Bill, all the way from Edmonton. Good afternoon from Amsterdam. Oh wow, it is really getting rainy out there. I think only Joe is still up there in the end. And Mike is saying, oh exactly, temperature is 9 degrees, dew point is 8 degrees, humidity is 93%. So if the temperature drops just a little bit more, which should be will be possible, we should be seeing much more wing fluff. Let me actually take my phone out for a second and check flight radar, because I've been wearing the gloves for a bit to try and warm the hands up. Give me a second. Thanks, Erwin. Well, like I said, if I do have the proper protection for the YOLO box, I'd be streaming out in the rain much more. I do have a like a weather seal or a weather jacket for my camera, but I can't use it when I'm streaming. And oh, China cargo triple in 15 minutes, but I see that the center runway is open as well, which is a pity, so it might be possible that all the heavies from that side are going to the center runway. But first up we have Ryanair. So there were some talks about Ryanair, if they really deserve that bad reputation. So let's see if this one deserves the bad reputation. Like I said, I think Ryanair has come a long way. Buttery landings every now and then, or most of the time, and a bad one every now and then. You better move your van, mate, because you're exactly on touchdown point. Oh, move please. That was like I said, buttery touchdown. Or reverse. Alright, let me see what I missed out on in the chat there for a second. Let's see if there's any new people. Bill's there indeed. And Vaslil, welcome back, mate. Good to see you again after yesterday. I think yesterday was the first time you tuned into the stream, so welcome back. And Peter becoming a member in economy class here for the 10th month in a row, saying what 10 months, how time flies. Time sure does fly, mate, and thank you so much for that ongoing support there for 10 months in a row. And enjoy the early access to the Queen's video, which is out now for all the members of the channel, both economy class and business class. I'll be airing that one, I think tomorrow or Monday. Still a little bit undecisive on that. And indeed that was a butter landing, and China 777 is going to the center runway, which was expected, and it's not really getting any better weather-wise either. I think I'm going to stream for 5 more minutes, folks, and then I'm just going to call it a day, because it's just too much drizzle. I can't even keep my camera dry anymore. So like I said, I'm going to try and jerry-rig something back home to keep both the camera and the streaming device dry, because I do want to try and stream in the rainy weather in the upcoming days. But nonetheless, thank you all so much for tuning in today. It's a moody day. Joe is still streaming, so if you do want to continue watching some Polderbaan landings, just tune into Joe's stream. He's filming with, it's actually funny because he's filming with his phone, and it just goes to show that it doesn't matter what type of camera you use, as long as you can entertain and as long as you can showcase what's happening at the airport, you should be alright. Alright, we got our next landing. So, I'm going to try and do something. Oh! No, the weather is not as forgiving as yesterday, Basil. As you remember, yesterday it was a little drizzly as well, but not as much as today. And in the end there was some beautiful contrast, beautiful light. It really turned out to be an amazing stream and an amazing day. And today it's just not working in my favor with the weather, but we will see. Like I say, I'm going to film 3 more landings and then I'm just going to call it a day. Protect the gear, dry it off because I have a towel in the car, and then just drive back home. I am going to try and put out a stream tomorrow, maybe tomorrow morning, weather permitting, and if I can actually manage to make something to keep everything dry. There we go. Next one is already on approach. Wow. Oui, oui, air baguette. But this was a petit pain because it was a small one. Oh. It is cold. There we go, 7-3. Yeah, indeed, 3 French baguette in one stream. The A318, A319. No, I think I had a double A318 today already. And if I remember correctly, the E190 from Lyon. Bonbon. Alright, Mark. Saying I have to go. Thanks for a nice stream. See you next time. Thank you so much, Mark, and thank you again for... Oh, wow. And what I wanted to say is thank you so much again for yesterday's €10 super chat. It was much appreciated, mate. My god, look guys, this is the Polderbaan Tower, wherever it is. There it is. Oh my, it's really starting to rain now. So I'm going to film the last landing. I'm going to try, like I said, and fix something at home to make it possible for me to stream tomorrow. But yeah, even though the weather wasn't really that interesting, I had some proper fun today. Beautiful, loud Queen time, the Silkway 777, we had a Dreamliner. All in all, I think pretty cool. We had the 777 coming in from Lima as well. Some baby buses, a smooth Ryanair landing. And indeed, some hot coffee sounds good. That's actually exactly what I'm going to do when I get back home. Oh, and Peter's saying now I have a shot, video clip of the C5. That's cool. And no problem, Mark. And thanks again, Mark. Yeah, Mark and Mark. That's interesting. Mark with the C and Mark with a K, if I remember correctly. Indeed, it was a spotting and chill today. Oh, you guys could probably hear the rain tapping down on the camera. Yep, so it's actually starting to rain now. Interesting. Alright, the last landing is up there. So, as always, a proper outro. It was good fun today, like I said. Oh, I feel even my shoulders and my elbows are getting wet. Peter, thank you so much for becoming a member for the 10th month. Babe, my love, my kochanie, thank you so much for your beautiful sticker today for the sunny mood. Really gave me a beautiful smile, and I can't wait to just look back at it again, and to be back at the warm home. And oh, on a bombshell, Mark is coming in with a £5 super chat saying, for being crazy enough to thought it out in those conditions. Thank you so much for that one, Mark. Very much appreciated. And from one streamer to another, it's always good fun to be out there and have people watching. And thank you so much for that appreciation. And Mr. Blood is asking which plane is coming. This is EasyJet, and if I remember correctly, it's coming in from the UK. And there we go, touchdown. So like I said, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. It's been good fun. Make sure to check out yesterday's stream, because yesterday was amazing with the weather. I am going to dry up. I'm going to dry out the camera stuff. I'm going to see if everything works out for tomorrow, and just keep an eye out on my channel, because I will be preparing the stream if the weather looks good enough for that. So like I said, thank you all so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you all on the next one. Ciao!